Congratulations, guys. We got up this morning. So I have been reading a lot of memoirs lately. I have Marley and Me, which I've hey. I have Marley and Me, which I'm reading. I have Eat, Pray, and Love, which I want to get to. But one of the lesser known memoirs that I'm reading is Inside My Outside by Sarah Pishka. My friend Caitlin recommended it. And Sarah Pishka is an author who has cerebral palsy. And she has a couple fictional books too, but which I really want to read, but I haven't gotten to yet. You can get her books off Amazon. But I was going to do a review of it when I was finished it, because I'm not finished yet. But there was this one scene that I just wanted to talk about because it made my blood boil. Now, for the protection of her personal care assistants, she doesn't use any real names, but she does say that everything she writes in the book actually happened with one assistant or another. So there was this scene in the book where she goes to the grocery store and with her assistant, and this pregnant lady stops her and says, "What does she have? Because I don't want my baby to turn out like her." Come on now. I don't want my baby to turn out like her. I gotta tell you, I'm glad that I was alone when I read that part, because I cursed a blue streak. It was pretty bad. You don't hear me cursing on here because I don't want to get flagged or reported, but it was pretty bad. It was a blue streak. I don't want my baby to turn out like her. Now, she is somebody I admire greatly, not because she's inspirational or anything. And just so you know, I personally hate being called an inspiration because, and I did a video on it, I believe, because I just live a normal life. And I'm sure that if you asked several other people with disabilities who have disabilities, they would probably agree with me. Now, I'm not going to say that for the entire population of people with disabilities, but the people in my life would probably agree with me that being an inspiration while living their normal life is not something they want to aspire to. But that was just awful. Now, I'm not going to say I experienced something that bad, but I have experienced with kids asking me when I'm going to get better, what's wrong with me, which is probably not the best way to phrase the question, but they're kids. And I want to say that just because this experience that I read about was terrible and horrible, it doesn't mean people shouldn't ask questions. They should just be polite about it. But yeah, I don't want my baby to turn out like her. What does she have? That's just awful. There are so many different ways you could phrase that question properly. Like, I'm sorry, do you have a disability, and how does it affect your life? That would be a good question. Because in previous chapters, no, I'm not going to ruin the whole book, but in previous chapters, Sarah talks about her college education. This is a college-educated woman. Okay? I think that's what bugged me about it so much. This is a college-educated woman who's living her life independently, like, in her own house. She has aides to help her, but she lives independently in her own house. And I don't know, it just bugged me a lot. So I hope that one scene doesn't sour you from the book, because it is a really good book. It evokes emotions out of me. I cried. I cried. I cried during that scene, but I also laughed. She's a really good author. I highly recommend her books. I believe the fictional books are called Dancing Daisies and Switch the Song, which I do end up I do want to end up getting. Jeez, I can't speak English today. I have problems. I've got problems. Alright. So I just felt the need to get on here and rant a little. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry, because that wasn't that whoever that woman is, what you did was not appropriate. And you're lucky that she didn't use your name. Okay. Now I'm done. See you guys later. Be kind to each other.